Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Brooms are a great rallying cry in professional sports as long as you're the team holding the handle and not the one caught up in the bristles, which brings us to our baseball team. The Diamondbacks have an opportunity they better seize this weekend at Chase Field. They have got the chance to come out of Memorial Day weekend with a winning record. They have a chance to hit the first milepost of the baseball season in pretty good shape, considering all of their injuries and inconsistencies and ragged play. They've got a chance to sweep a Marlins team that not only pulled the plug on their season after 30 games, they traded one of their best players to the Padres, which only makes our journey more complicated. So there's a bit of revenge involved as well. But mostly, this team needs to get real elevation, and they need to grab this weekend series by the throat. No more desperation Sundays at Chase Field, folks, because this team went deep last year in the playoffs and in our hearts, and whatever it takes, this team better get back to the postseason this year, because these Diamondbacks must not be another tragic failure in our scrapbook, a portfolio that is full of one-hit wonders. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
And the 3-2 ground ball. It's to the shortstop, Newman. He's got it. The throw to first in time. And for the first time in almost 8 years, the Diamondbacks shut out the Dodgers in Los Angeles. They do it in dominant fashion as the Diamondbacks pick up a 6-0 victory, and they take the series here in L.A.
That was 2 nights ago. Chris Garagiola on the call. Diamondbacks shut out the Dodgers to win that series. And this Sunday, I really, really don't want to experience a fifth straight Sunday where the Diamondbacks are trying to win and winning to salvage one game of a 3-game series.
So that they're not in the bristles of that broom that I referenced.
Yes.
That's what this has been like these last 4 weekends.
Avoiding sweeps.
Yeah. And so you got to flip the script, and this is a good team to do it against. Now, granted, the Marlins, since the beginning of May, have actually been a little bit formidable.
Yeah, they've won 7 out of 10.
Yeah, they've won their last 3 series. They've shut out their opponent 4 times. They've won 4 one-run games. But you've got Zach Gallen tonight. You've got Jordan Montgomery on Saturday, and you've got that dominant TBD taking the mound on Sunday.
Joe Mantiply?
Tom Brady. No. Yeah, it might be. It might be the Joe Mantiply and the chorus line of pitchers. But either way, this is coming off of what they did in Los Angeles. Given what they've experienced, given the ragged nature of the season in progress, given all the consternation about Corbin Carroll and about Gabby Moreno's bat and about the lack of power in this lineup and about an offense that's been really inconsistent and a bullpen that's been really inconsistent, this is a great opportunity, and if this team knows what's good for themselves, they're going to come out with their hair on fire tonight.
You know why the Marlins are playing better? You mentioned it, too. They just had to get rid of that stiff Luis Ariz. He can't hit.
No, he's no good.
You know what he's hitting for the Padres?
Probably 390.
419.
And again, have you ever seen a baseball team do that? A team with a hit. The Marlins were a playoff team last year, were they not? Weren't they a wild card team last year?
We're talking about the team that's got more fire sales in its history than world championships. Like 3-2.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, if it was any other team, I would say, it doesn't make any sense.
No, but it's the Marlins. Okay, you're right. So, you're right. They've got a rich history of this kind of stuff. But you want to believe that somewhere down the line, as we talked with Buster Olney, that this pitching staff is going to be healthy, and when it is, it's going to be a whole new proverbial ball game in Arizona. I saw another stat I couldn't believe. When you look at the injuries facing the Diamondbacks starting pitchers, Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Jordan Montgomery, they have made just 10 of 50 starts this season.
Wow.
So that puts their injury struggles in sharp relief.
Yeah, when you're missing 80% of your projected starts from 3/5 of your starting lineup, or starting rotation, that's not ideal.
Yeah. So and you look at this team, if this is going to be a milepost, and you look at this team and you try to evaluate what's good, what can get better. The infield, 3/4 of the infield has been good. Incredibly, the shortstop position has actually been a plus, given, Blaze Alexander and Kevin Newman. Kevin Newman's been a godsend, but as you both have said, that ain't going to last. With all due respect to him.
Yeah.
But Gino Suarez he's got to get the slug going. Corbin Carroll has got to get himself going.
You know what the D-backs fans should do this weekend at Chase Field?
What's that?
Give those guys, Suarez and Carroll namely, give them the Trey Turner treatment. Just open up your hearts and show your love.
I love Jared's reaction to that.
It's not like they've been booed, but I got to tell you.
Just like over-the-top standing ovations?
Yes.
It feels like
the Corbin Carroll discussion has been going on for a while. And it was maybe a month ago that on this show, we started to broach the possibility of, okay, if this continues, what kind of leash are we talking about here? He's your most important player. He's your best player. But he can't continue this at the major league level if you want to stay in contention. That mere mention of a possibility of sending Corbin Carroll down freaked so many people out. Not just freaked them out, like pissed them off.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, that's how difficult this situation is. I hope we are seeing the turnaround happen. 2 straight games with a triple, 3 triples in his last 5 games. He's got a 5-game hitting streak during which he's hitting .210. I mean, the Diamondbacks are great at that.
That's almost
those
statistically
one-hit hitting
impossible.
streaks is just amazing. But you know what? Open up your hearts and have an outpouring of love for Corbin Carroll.
I agree that you should support him and don't boo him or anything, but those.
How about Suarez too? Throw him in there.
Yeah, I understand that, but you don't want it to be to the point where you're mocking them or patronizing them. You know what I mean? Or looking like you feel bad for them.
How about just a chant?
Here we go.
Let's go, Corbin. Let's go, Gino.
No, we could break out my
finally.
Ayo, Henny-o.
Yeah, finally.
I think Gino Suarez, that's the guy that might respond well to that. Because he's a newcomer, and he probably feels, and he's a really chill dude, and guys love him, but he's got to be, you know what that's like, man. You can imagine what that's like. Yeah. You know you're better. Everyone knows you're better, but you haven't played up to your capability, and your new audience now is like, what do we trade for him for?
Do you think that baseball, more than any other sport, is if you get in your own head about how you're playing, it could throw you off? Because it's so a thing of timing and split-second reaction and all that. If you're just like overthinking anything more than any other sport, it feels like.
I think that is across the board in any sport. The psychology of sports is fascinating.
Well, it is, and I think that baseball is a sport more than any that is steeped in failure. Right? The old joke, you fail 7 out of 10 times in Major League Baseball, you're going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's the old joke. And it's because you can hit the ball with crazy exit velocity right to somebody. It's like if you were a great 3-point shooter and you had perfect form, perfect release, the ball is going towards the basket, and boom, there's a lid on the basket. And you're like, what's that do? Yeah, the rim's out. What's that lid do? Well,
but let's leave Bradley Beal's Game 4 out of this.
I tell you.
The modern baseball cares very little about certain statistics because they look at exit velocity and how hard you're hitting the ball, and they judge that. But the point of baseball is to hit the ball where the defenders aren't.
Yes.
There is a skill to that as well.
But what you said, too, about baseball being a game of failure, the old joke, that was the response when I, a couple of nights ago, posted, hey, do we need to have Major League Baseball players celebrate every base hit with their dugout? And they're like, yeah, it's a game of failure, absolutely. I'm like, can you imagine Ted Williams? Ted Williams didn't celebrate a single. He didn't celebrate a double.
I really wish I would have seen what aggravated you. Who was celebrating the dugout?
The Dodgers.
Oh, well, fair
The
enough.
D-backs do it, too.
There we go.
Every team does it.
There we go.
But watching Will Smith like dance on second base down
No, but
6 runs, you're like, what are you doing?
David Peralta used to famously do all those gestures and stuff on doubles.
Yeah, he did.
You know, David Peralta's back in the division again.
Where is he now?
With the Padres.
Wow.
Yeah, just brought him back.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Murata. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.